Good morning. Christmas
Morning.
time's a coming. Stand if you'd like to and sing with us. Really give it all you got.
Christmas time's coming, Christmas time's coming, Christmas time's coming, and we hope you feel at home. Can't you hear those bells ringing, ringing? Joy, don't you hear them singing? If it's snowing, I won't be going back to my country home. Christmas time's coming, Christmas time's coming, Christmas time's coming, and we hope you feel at home.
Holly's in the window, wind outside's blowing, candles are glowing. Oh, Christmas time's a coming.
Can't you hear those bells ringing, ringing? Joy, don't you hear them singing? If it's snowing, I won't be going back to my country home. Christmas time's coming, Christmas time's coming, Christmas time's coming, and we hope you feel at home. Christmas time's coming, Christmas time's coming, Christmas time's coming, and I'm home, sweet home.
Good morning. I'm Elaine Arnold, a member of Unity, and welcome to Unity of the Hill Country, where we offer a positive path for spiritual living. The Daily Word has been giving the worldwide Unity movement a daily prayer since July 1924. This week's reader is my mom, Robin Stewart.
Love, isn't that wonderful? Love. It's the best of all. But I'll probably fall all through this. I didn't realize until this morning that this was my Sunday. I feel blessed, and I do, to share God's steadfast love with everybody. Share this love with everybody. Advent season continues. I give thanks for the steadfast love of God, which dispels the darkness of conflict and loneliness and the light of harmony and togetherness. Love is personal and sacred, human, divine, immediate and immortal. Amid seasonal greetings of joy and peace, I give thanks for the power of love. I am a divine being, bringing the love of God into the world. Through my words and actions, I am kind and patient, compassionate and empathetic, encouraging and supportive. As I am blessed by love, I share love's blessings with others. I center myself on the Christ within and go forth as a heart and hands of love in the world. The verse, 1 John 4:7, Beloved, let us love one another, because love is from God. Everyone who loves is born of God and knows God. And if we repeat our affirmation, I feel blessed to share God's steadfast love. And I love all of you.
The Unity movement started in 1889 with answered prayer. Myrtle Fillmore was healed of tuberculosis. We'll be honored to pray with you. You can request prayer at bunity.org. You can also place a request in our lobby prayer box or on unityhillcountry.org and click on the Ministries tab. Please take a moment now to silence your phone so it doesn't disturb our gathering. Unity is a global, inclusive spiritual community. We offer practical, uplifting resources to help people of all faiths apply positive spiritual principles. Unity provides practical teachings to help people live healthy, prosperous, and meaningful lives. Please join me in affirming our mission and vision statements. To live consciously, celebrating the divine potential in all, as well as Unity's statement of faith. There is only one presence and one power active in my life and in the universe. God, the good, the omnipotent. And now Reverend Bob has a few announcements.
Good morning. You may have noticed when you're coming in, the Bloodmobile is in the parking lot. By all means, if you've never donated blood, I know what I know what it feels like. Back in 1995, I was a complete chicken when it came to donating blood, especially having that needle in my arm for 10 minutes. It's gonna. And then in one of my meditations, I had guidance and I checked it out. Sure enough, when you give blood, you're giving 10% of your blood supply away. Now, your body usually takes care of that by flushing it out through the usual suspects. But what I realize is you're tithing of your good health. So if you haven't done it before and you're willing, just go ahead and walk in. We've got a little bit less appointments today. We're hoping that, but that's why I'm mentioning it. This is the Sunday for our special offering, our Christmas offering. Each year we pair up with someone. Christian Assistance Ministries, we're actually a member of this coalition, but it provides clothing, food, money, utility bills, or prescription needs. It's open 2 hours each week over there on Barnett at Clay. So 10% of whatever we receive from today's offering is going to go to Christian Assistance Ministries to help our fellow Kerr Countyans. We've got a 60-second survey this week for a while. If you haven't participated before, it's just our way of getting answers really quickly to a few questions rather than sending you that annual questionnaire of 50 questions that you ignore completely. So what we're interested in on the card or the piece of paper you've got, are you interested in a weekly Bible study discussion group here at Unity? And we'd be taking the Unity approach, but I know we had somebody call in this week, do we do a Bible study here? And then I had someone else mention it last Sunday. So, okay, well, let me check. Maybe we do something like that. So if you're interested in that, let's write that down. And if you know, well, the second one is we're ready to start the game nights that people have asked for, and this would be, adult-oriented. So would you like it to be every week, twice a month, or monthly? Okay, go ahead. Pass your card to the aisle. We'll pick those up. And as we're preparing for that, we're going to be into our music section. So our congregational song for this week is Peace in Our Hearts, and it's going to be followed by our meditation preparation song, The Four Gifts. So thank you very much.
Feel free to stand and join us if you'd like to on Peace in Our Hearts.
know we got peace in our hearts. We're gonna stand for the earth and the children too, with peace in our hearts. We're gonna stand for the earth and the children too, with peace in our hearts. Gonna stand for the earth and the children too, 'cause it will take everyone to make this dream come true. We know we got peace in our hearts. We're gonna stare into the face of the hateful mind with peace in our hearts. We're gonna stare into the face of the hateful mind with peace in our hearts. Gonna stare into the face of the hateful mind. All we gotta do is let our love light shine. We know we got peace in our hearts. We know we got peace in our hearts. We know we got peace in our hearts. I feel the gift of hope. I feel the gift of peace. I feel the gift of love. I feel the gift of joy. I feel it lifting up, rising in all of us. I feel the gift of hope. I feel the gift of peace. I feel the gift of love. I feel the gift of joy. I feel it lifting up, rising in all of us. I feel it lifting up, rising in all of us.
Feel that gift of peace, of love, of hope, and of joy rising in you now. In this meditation, we've taken the moment now to be still and go within, to find that place within each and every one of us where we know God to be. And as we allow any delusion of separation between ourselves and God to just melt away, we are open and receptive to God's living spirit of truth. The divine guidance that is always available to us. In unity, when we do meditate and pray, we take a moment to pray for others. Bring to mind any individuals, any groups, any situations that you'd like to pray for now. We include all of the prayers received here at Unity of the Hill Country in our lobby prayer box and through our website. And we see and know, without knowing the specifics, we see and know that the divine substance, the divine potential, and the divine perfection are in and expressing through each of these prayer requests as wholeness, as the highest good unfolding. We know that Unity of the Hill Country is thriving in consciousness, people, and revenues today and every day hereafter. The God presence as Unity of the Hill Country is a divine magnet, attracting anyone who can benefit from who we are and what we are about, attracting health, prosperity, love, and joy to Unity of the Hill Country and all who are guided here today and every day hereafter. And I invite you to take the words I'm about to speak as your own words in prayer this morning. What a great day to be alive. If I have felt down or depressed about some particular situation or person in my life, this is my opportunity to allow the flow of God's happiness through me. A joy-filled heart is always available for me to express. It allows me to look past outer appearances and see the divine in each person, each situation, and ask for guidance as to what is mine to do and what is mine to say. The joy of God is my strength. I am an expression of God's joy. And as I prepare for 2 minutes of silence, I contemplate and feel the divine idea of joy in the silence. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I open my mind to the divine mind and allow the divine download into my consciousness. As I move through this coming week, I realize I have dominion over my thoughts. I can shift my thinking simply by deciding to. I move forward with strength and courageousness. And I am willing to follow the guidance that I receive and live the truth as I know it to be. The joy of the Lord is my strength. I am God's joy. And for my ever-growing awareness of the omnipotence, omniscience, and omnipresence of God, I am grateful. I pray these things in the name and the nature and the power that we know is symbolized by Jesus Christ. And as we draw our focus back to the sanctuary, we'll now hear from our music team.
Wrong song. It's okay. It's okay. One small child.
That's my fault.
This is a song called One Small Child.
One small child in a land of 1,000. One small dream of a Savior tonight. One small hand reaching out to the starlight. One small city of love. One small city of life. See him lying a cradle beneath him. See him smiling in the stall. See his father praising his mother. See his tiny eyelids fall. One small light from the flame of a candle. One small light from the city of might. One small light from the stars in the endless night. One small light from his face. One small light from his face. See the shepherds kneeling before him. See the kings on bended knee. See the mother praising the Father. See the blessed infant sleep. One small child in a land of 1,000. One small dream in a people of light. One small hand reaching out to the starlight. One small Savior of love. Small Savior of love. One small Savior of life.
Yeah, Carla spotted that picture yesterday. Couldn't resist. And they were asking, what's a good caption for this photo? And I wrote, I really wanted a non-fungible token. I forgot to mention earlier, a lot of people like to contribute to our staff's Christmas bonus, so there's a silver box out there in the lobby. There also is a stack of books, thanks to a very generous donation by Robert and Stewart. This wonderful book, Unity, A Quest for Truth, really good overview of what we're all about. So make sure you take one of those, and if you know somebody who you think would be interested, go ahead and take another. Okay. Think of places where you have experienced and expressed joy. I was very surprised one day when I pulled into the gas station. I started filling up my car, and I observed joy. You know how it is at a gas station. You're on one side of the pump, and then there's another car on the other side of the pump. So as I'm getting started, I look over and I see in the car next to me there's this woman in the front seat who looks like, she's got her smartphone and just totally detached from her surroundings. But behind her in the back seat, sticking out of the window, is a little girl, maybe 3 years old. And she's got her hands on the windowsill and she's watching me, and I give her a wave and she gives me a wave back. And she's just looking around and just taking in the world. And she looks towards the convenience store, and someone's come walking out, and she says, "Hi, Daddy." And it's kind of, it is often our choice to decide to allow that joy to express through us. This month I've been doing the 4 weeks of Advent. So it's hope, peace, love, and joy. So it's a tradition started in Germany in the 400s about just building an anticipation to Christmas, which is symbolic of that annual opportunity we have to give birth to light and to all 4 of these gifts. So, feeling of joy is sometimes exuberant, like our little girl sticking out of the car and waving, "Daddy." Other times, though, it can just be tears of joy, where our heart has really been touched and just we are so happy that our tear glands can't hold back. Back in 2015, Carla and I were serving the congregation in Indianapolis. Now, Carla, as she was growing up, couldn't help but notice that both her parents needed hearing aids, her brother needed hearing aids. Sure enough, by the time we hit Unity Seminary in the year 2000, Carla was noticing she wasn't quite hearing as clearly as she used to be, so she got a hearing test and got some hearing aids. And Carla was also taking a hospital chaplaincy thing. She realized, she's there by the side of someone's bed and they're saying, "Oh, I just feel awful," and she doesn't hear what they're saying. She says, "That's nice." So as the years were going by, there in Florida, we were serving a congregation in Hollywood, Florida, which is between Fort Lauderdale and Miami down there. And we were going to this wonderful holistic doctor, and Carla was saying, these hearing aids kind of irritate the inside of my ears. He goes, "Oh, I can give you something for that." And so he gave her a prescription, and Carla took the prescription, and in the coming months, Carla noticed that her hearing had dropped off dramatically. And she was guided one morning as she was in meditation, just get online and take a look. And sure enough, in these eardrops, there were actually antibiotic eardrops rather than lubricating eardrops, but one of the ingredients was neomycin. And what they were just beginning to discover is that neomycin is a very harsh substance in that it can actually damage your hearing. And a couple of years later, I had a dermatologist tell me, he goes, "Yeah, I tell people don't get neomycin anymore. Get polysporin instead, or neosporin. And I know recently I was at Walgreens and looking for polysport, and there's like all of these neomycins and generic neomycins in one polysport. but at any rate, Carla went through an interesting process, as did I. You know, I was angry about this whole thing and talking to the doctor. He was going, I'm sorry I didn't get good results. Goes, you've been talking to your lawyer again, haven't you? But Carla made an interesting decision. That was not to follow through with any legal action. You know, this was a good doctor, and of course the package insert said very clearly that this could be a problem in perfect 3-point type. So Carla let it go. But as the years went by, one of the amazing gifts was that for those of you who are on social media, you notice that Carla is a social media aficionado. And that kind of triggered that, because when we went to go serve the congregation in Indianapolis in 2011, and Carla was having difficulty hearing, she decided she was going to immerse herself in this land of typing out what it is you want to say or dictating so that she can read the words. And if people would ask me about Carla's hearing, I say, well, on a scale of 1 to 10, it is now deteriorated to about a 2. And yet in 2015, actually I think this was 2014, but Carla was having a conversation with a man with cochlear implants. Some of you have noticed the gray things on the back of Carla's head. What it is it is a device that bypasses your ear canal and goes directly into the inner ear. In fact, as you can see here, so you've got this transmitter, which is what you see on the outside, the external transmitter. But inside, there's another thing they put in there underneath the skin, and there's a magnet that holds it there so that there's the electrical connection. And they actually drill a hole in the back of your head and puts this electrode, which has these various little stimulators. They've been able to figure out the various frequencies, and so... and then, of course, you got what looks like a hearing aid, but it's a processor with the batteries. So we found a wonderful doctor, actually about a 2-hour drive away in Cincinnati, one of the best in this specialty of cochlear implants was over at the University of Cincinnati Hospital. So, so we went over there, and sure enough, Carla was eligible. And she was eligible with Medicare and Medigap covering the whole thing. It was like, wow, they don't cover hearing aids. But now, I realized that, well, first of all, Carla got the first implant. I like to do them, spaced out, kind of like getting your knees replaced. But they did one side and then the other side about 9 months later. But at the first one, there was kind of that eager anticipation, and so they did the surgery, and about a week later, Carla went to the audiologist there who was affiliated, and she was going to get it activated for the first time. I was shedding tears of joy because I was behind the camera, so I'm going to show you just a quick video of what happened on that day.
It's going to sound different. Different is not a bad thing. I'm going to slowly make it louder, but I want you to tell me when you can hear my voice and when it's at a comfortable level.
Okay.
I do not expect you to understand me, but I want you to tell me when you hear my voice. Okay? Okay. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
It's like I heard it's kind of the robotic sound that I heard.
That's okay.
Yeah.
So January, February, March, April, May, June, July. Is my voice the same or is it louder?
It's still in there.
What does it sound like to you?
It's sounds like an alien.
That's okay. That's okay. That's very typical. That's okay. The more you wear it, the more you practice with it, the more natural it's going to sound. Okay.
Okay.
This is day one. You know,
Yeah.
it's a different input. It's that electrical input. But the more you wear it, your brain starts to get used to this sound, and hopefully, the better the understanding gets.
Okay.
So that was that day. Now, in the aftermath, I realized, wow. You know, for years I had been praying that Carla's hearing was healed. You know, and sometimes that happens through material medical science. So my prayer had been answered, but there were two other prayers that Carla and I had used over the years. Carla would say to me, you know, I need you like I need another hole in my head. And sure enough, they drill a hole in the back of your head to put that electrode down there in the inner ear. And the and the other thing is that I would affirm occasionally to Carla that she needed her head examined. They took an MRI of her head before they did this procedure. So you see, prayer works. So events sometimes seem intimidating or challenging. You know, and I've talked to various people about some of the challenges they're having. I wanted to read you a Bible verse. This is from the Hebrew Testament book of Joshua. And it's right, chapter 1, the first verse. After the death of Moses, the Lord spoke to Moses' aide Joshua and said, Moses is dead. Captain Obvious there. Now then, you and all of these people get ready to cross the river Jordan to the land I am about to give to the Israelites. As I was with Moses, so I will be with you. I will never leave you or forsake you, so be strong and courageous, because you will lead these people to inherit the land I swore to your forefathers. Be strong and very courageous. Be careful to obey all spiritual laws my servant Moses gave you. Do not turn from it to the right or to the left, that you may be successful wherever you go. Then you will be prosperous and successful. Now, one of the things I point out, you know, as Unity's approach to the Bible is that each character and place is symbolic of something else. And we've got this wonderful book, the Metaphysical Bible Dictionary. There was a 10-year project to bringing it all together, all of these various words and names. So when you have a death of a character, and the replacement comes in, it's basically, okay, I'm ready to shed all of that old thinking, and I am ready to have a new generation of thought. And if if you've ever cracked open the book of Joshua, it is a bloody mess. They are going through the land and killing anything they find. There is a symbolism there, though, too, also just being willing to kill off the stuff that's not going to serve you. I do notice that it mentions, you know, do not turn from it to the right or to the left that you may be successful wherever you go. Then you will be prosperous and successful. The right and the left side, you know, represent our emotional nature and our thinking nature. So if you think about it too much, you probably will talk yourself out of it. If you go deep into the emotions, you'll probably be too scared to do it. But if you have that proper balance and move forward, being willing to be guided, as God says, I'll always be with you. Be strong and courageous. Well, that's easy for him to say. And imagine having to be the guy who follows Moses. You know, it's I know as ministers, we get training in that when you come into a new congregation, a lot of times they have a lot of grief they need to process, or maybe they didn't like the former minister, or maybe they loved the minister so much that you coming in, you know, even though you're not doing anything wrong, that you can become the unintended interim minister and be pushed out. And did some of you guys hear this week that Jeopardy decided to drop the young woman, I think her name is Mayim Balak, to be one of the hosts. And they pointed out how after Alex Trebek died, how one of the producers of the show decided he'd take Alex Trebek's place, and within 2 months he was out. How do you follow Alex Trebek? So, no matter what you're facing, you will be successful if you believe that you will be successful. There was a woman who was walking down the sidewalk, and up ahead she could see this kind of burly young man coming towards her, pushing a stroller. And as she got closer, she could see that his lips were moving. She thought, well, probably talking on his smartphone. And as she passed him by, he was saying, "Take it easy, Albert. Take it easy. It's all right. Remain calm, Albert. It's going to be fine." And she couldn't help but turn around and come back and say, "Wow, I am so impressed. I mean, here you are assuring Albert down here that everything is going good. Oh no, his name is Johnny. I'm Albert." This is the first time I've been out on my own, with my child. But here again, the idea of affirmative prayer. Okay, if you're not particularly feeling confident, maybe it's a good idea to do an affirmative prayer of confidence. Years ago, I learned a wonderful song that helps me remember how to be in the world. It goes like this. Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream. If you are in a boat, on a river, or on any body of water, it's wise to row rather than just float wherever the boat's going to float. And then, of course, how are you going to row? Gently. No feverish exuberance that you have to be rowing hard or rowing the right way. And it's wise to row downstream rather than upstream. Why do you want to be paddling against the current? And then what's your attitude? Merrily, 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 merrily. Life is but a dream. I remember seeing a sitcom where a rather dim-witted fellow meets a woman named Merrily. She goes, "Oh, your name's in my favorite song, Merrily, 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 merrily." So our founder, one of our two co-founders, Myrtle Fillmore and Charles Fillmore, Charles wrote this. He defined joy. He was like, "Oh, okay, what are we specifically talking about?" He says, "The happiness of God is expressed through God's perfect idea, the only begotten Son. In other words, every human being. Joy and gladness are strength-giving, especially if the mind is fixed on things of spirit." So if you are experiencing emotional pain or doubt, turn to that part within you that's willing to release it and move forward. Joseph Campbell, the amazing man of comparative religion, wrote, "Find a place inside of you where there's joy, and the joy will obliterate the pain." So how do we experience joy? As I mentioned in the meditation, there's this divine mind that knows all things, and then there's our conscious mind, of course the subconscious, and the superconscious is kind of like that connection. So if we're willing to allow that divine download, it's like, oh, I hadn't thought of that before. And it allows us to move forward. So let's take a look at our list of takeaways for today, and I'm just going to slowly explain each one to be clear. Okay, so shift our thinking. Here again. Where is that joy inside of you? It's there all of the time. Our mind might focus on other things, but hey, what about happy, exciting things? Remember that whatever we focus on expands in our world. So whatever energy you put out is going to come back. So what's working in your lives? If you perceive that you have strengths and weaknesses, is it okay that you embrace both and know that you can express your strengths and do your part in making this world a better place? Number 2, be strong and courageous, as God told Joshua. When we get this divine guidance, it is wise to follow through. Like I said, don't turn right or left. It can be so easy to talk yourself out of it. But don't allow the outer appearances to weaken your resolve. The concept of first force, second force, third force, that idea whenever we take the opportunity to step out towards something, there will be resistance. When we decide to make a change in our life, there'll be anything in your memories that is opposed to that will surface. And some people say, you see, this negative here, this resistance has surfaced, so I guess it means I'm not supposed to do it. It's like, no. What's happening in your mind is, well, wait a minute, this has been your assumption, your belief your whole life. Are you sure you want to proceed that way? Or would you rather change it, let it go? And then number 3, of course, is just live God's truth. We all have examples in our lives of people. We emulate them, and there'll be a whole series of them. When I was a kid, the football quarterback, Johnny Unitas. Nothing could shake this guy. He was calm, collected, incredibly accurate with his passes. In one game in the playoffs, they were at the end of the game. They needed a score to win, and the wide receiver goes out and then runs towards the sideline, and the cornerback, the defender's right by him, and Johnny Unitas threw it to the guy, and he caught it. And the reporter after the game asked, well, wasn't that an incredible risk? Why would you take that risk to throw that ball? He says, well, it's not a risk if you know what you're doing. And then I had other people. Bill Curtis, this anchorman in Chicago. And of course, he's become the narrator on so many things over the years. Just the way he would deliver the news. So when I was working in radio, TV news. And then I had people like Mike McCoyne, the Unity minister that I was introduced to Unity in. Here's this guy in a sweatshirt and jeans on a Sunday. Grew up in Chicago and talked in church slave English about real things, and it was just an amazing model. And Carla and I, by traveling around like we did to more than 200 congregations, I got to see the many faces of Unity. We've got the same philosophy, but there's a personality to each minister, and there's a personality to each congregation and the people within it. So we have a wonderful opportunity to have fun and celebrate. So these takeaways are important. Now, I usually show you a video. It's usually a packaged video by usually Steve Hartman. But I have spliced together 2 videos of remarkable joy. Now, the second one, you'll see a 4-year-old girl with cerebral palsy. She and her family had been told that she would never walk. But they took part in a study of a special surgical procedure that allowed her to walk for the first time. Now, the sound quality on the video isn't that particularly great. Now, the first part, before we get to the girl walking for the first time, is the results of a man named Don McPherson. He was working on a pair of eyeglasses that would protect the eyes of doctors and medical staff when they're with laser surgery. And they had worked up a prototype, and he was telling a friend about it, and the friend said, I'd really like to try those. And sure enough, he did not know that his friend had color blindness. He was colorblind. If you're not familiar with it, the most common one is where you can't really tell the difference between red and green, that kind of a thing. And the guy put them on, and suddenly he could very easily distinguish between red and green. And so they put this out on the market in 2012, and then people with color blindness heard about it, and so they started having people with color blindness try it. So that's how the video is going to start.
Savannah, what are we doing today? Get to see color for the first time. And what's making that possible? I'm going to wear these incredible glasses. And what color are you most excited to see? Oh my gosh! Oh my god! Oh my god!
Can you see colors now?
Oh my gosh. Oh my god.
I guess it does work that well.
I've been missing out on something. Oh my god. What?
So what are the colors? What are the colors?
We're not in.
Signatures now? Can you see them?
I'm. Oh my gosh. Orange, red, yellow, green, blue, purple.
What colors you see?
Oh.
You see colors now?
Come here.
You got some really good balance on.
Woo! Good job!
So, yeah. Closing Bible verse from the letter to the Philippians, 4th chapter, 4th verse. Rejoice in the Lord always. Again, I will say, rejoice. Let your humility be known to everyone. May you always be open to God's guidance and grace.
Welcome. If this is your first time at Unity, we're glad you're here. We hope that you are finding a place of like-minded people and a place to belong. We teach spiritual tools that can help you no matter what is going on in your life. Please give us your email address so we can send you our weekly email of what is going on here. Generosity is important to us. We will donate $5 to a local charity of your choice. Just write your email on the sheet in our welcome packet. You can get a packet from an usher on the way out. or we can bring you one now if anybody wants. Anybody wants one right now? No? Okay. We now have an opportunity to support our spiritual cooperative. If you would like to donate by credit card, go to our website, unityhillcountry.org, and click on the donate button or scan the QR code in your handout. Please consider setting up an automatic monthly contribution. If you would prefer to mail us checks, please mail them to 1016 Jefferson Street, Kerrville, Texas 78028. And we thank you in advance for your generosity. Will the ushers please come forward? Please bless what you are giving now, and let us say our offering affirmation together. Divine love, as me, blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I give, and all that I receive. And I send it forth with my blessings and my love. Thank you.
Please welcome us in singing Joy to the World.
Joy to the world, the Lord is come. Let earth receive her King. Let every heart prepare him room, and heaven and nature sing, and heaven and nature sing, and heaven and nature sing. Joy to the world, the Savior reigns. Let men their songs employ, while fields and floods, rocks, hills, and plains repeat the sounding joy. Repeat the sounding joy. Repeat the sounding joy. He rules the world with truth and grace, and makes the nations prove the glories of his righteousness, and wonders of his love, and wonders of his love, and wonders of his love.
Thank you. We open our hearts in gratitude as we release these donations. We send these gifts forward through our congregation and into our world, blessing all that it affects. Thank you. Please check your bulletin and the lobby information table for our various activities. Please invite someone you know to attend our Christmas Eve or New Year's Eve services December 24th and 31st at 3:30 p.m. Many people discover unity for the first time during the holiday season. And please make sure you stay after for lunch. We're going to have Abundant Sunday today, so please join us for that. And if you're in a position to be able to give blood afterwards, please go out to the blood mobile and do that. And so now we've reached the end of our gathering. Please circle up, join up, hold hands, and we'll do the peace song and our prayer for protection.